Welcome to Endo Battery, where I share my journey with endometriosis and chronic illness while learning and growing along the way. This podcast is not a substitute for medical advice, but a supportive space to provide community and valuable information so you never have to face this journey alone. We embrace a range of perspectives that may not always align with our own, believing that open dialogue helps us grow and gain new tools. Join me as I share stories of strength, resilience, and hope, from personal experiences to expert insights. I'm your host, Alana, and this is Endo Battery, charging our lives when endometriosis drains us. Welcome to Endo Battery. Here, we're all about recharging your knowledge and powering you up for your journey to better health. Whether you're newly diagnosed, supporting someone you love, or just really curious about what's going on in the world of endometriosis and adenomyosis, you've come to the right place. Because so many of you have made Endo Battery a trusted resource for reliable information on endometriosis and other chronic pain and illnesses, I thought it was worthwhile to create a simple Myth-Busting 101, The Truth About Endometriosis Guide. This guide is designed to be easy to understand while empowering you with knowledge. So let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. What is endometriosis? Endometriosis, often shortened to endo, is a systemic inflammatory disease where tissue similar to the lining of the uterus, known as endometrium, grows outside the uterus. This tissue can appear on the ovaries, fallopian tubes, pelvic lining, and even unexpected places like the diaphragm, lungs, or heart. The disease is driven by a complex biomolecular process involving hormones, including estrogen and progesterone resistance. These factors contribute to chronic pain, infertility, and a wide range of other symptoms. While much about endometriosis remains unknown, its impact on those affected can be profound, underscoring the need for better understanding and treatment options. Adenomyosis, on the other hand, is like endometriosis's cousin who moves in uninvited. Here, the endometrial tissue grows into the muscular wall of the uterus itself. Imagine your uterus deciding to make itself a thick, cranky, constantly cramping roommate. Fun, right? Not so much. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's bust some myths and shine a light on the facts. Because misinformation about these conditions spreads faster than my grandma's questionable casserole recipe at a potluck. Starting off with our first myth. Endometriosis is just a bad period. Fact. Nope, not at all. Endometriosis can cause pain all month long, including during ovulation, bowel movements, and even sex. Romantic, huh? Myth. Pregnancy cures endometriosis. Fact. That's a false statement. While some people experience symptom relief during pregnancy, it's temporary. Endometriosis is not magically banished by a baby. Myth. Hysterectomy cures endometriosis. Fact. Endometriosis can persist even after a hysterectomy because it's tissue outside the uterus. Removing the uterus doesn't address those rogue endometriosis cells hanging out elsewhere. Myth. Endometriosis always shows up on imaging tests. Fact. Unless you are a skilled endometriosis surgeon, many times it is missed on ultrasound or MRIs. The gold standard for diagnosis is still laparoscopic surgery with a positive pathological report. Myth. You're too young to have endometriosis. Fact. Endometriosis has been found in teens and even preteens. It's not just an adult disease. Myth. Endometriosis only affects the reproductive system. Fact. Endometriosis is a whole body disease. It can affect the gastrointestinal tract, bladder, diaphragm, and more. Myth. Adenomyosis is the same as endometriosis. Fact. While they're related, adenomyosis is tissue growing within the uterine wall, whereas endometriosis is tissue growing outside the uterus. Myth. Heavy bleeding and cramping are normal. Fact. While common, heavy bleeding and severe cramping are not normal and may indicate a problem like adenomyosis or endometriosis. Myth. Endometriosis can't cause infertility. Fact. Up to 50% of individuals with endometriosis experience infertility, but treatments can help. Myth. It's rare to have both endometriosis and adenomyosis. Fact. Many people with endometriosis also have adenomyosis. They're like partners in crime, unfortunately. Myth: endometriosis pain is proportional to the severity of the disease. Fact: someone with minimal endometriosis can have severe pain, and someone with extensive disease may have little to no pain. Myth: hormonal treatments can cure endometriosis. Fact: hormonal therapies may manage symptoms, but don't address the underlying disease. Myth: endometriosis is caused by retrograde menstruation. Fact: while retrograde menstruation is one theory, it doesn't explain why some people with retrograde flow don't develop endometriosis. Myth: painful sex is just part of being a woman. Fact: pain during sex is not normal and may indicate endometriosis or adenomyosis. Myth: if you have a high pain tolerance, you don't need treatment. Fact: living with untreated endometriosis can lead to more severe complications, including organ damage. Myth: birth control pills can't help. Fact: while not a cure, hormonal birth control can manage symptoms for some people. Myth: only people with uteruses are affected. Fact: while these conditions primarily affect individuals with uteruses, trans men and non-binary individuals can also experience them. Myth: it is all in your head. Fact: endometriosis and adenomyosis are very real, very physical conditions. And yes, science backs this up. Myth: endometriosis always gets better with age. Fact: for some, maybe. However, symptoms can worsen over time without treatment. Myth: surgery isn't necessary. Fact: excision surgery is widely recognized as the gold standard for treating endometriosis, offering the best chance at long-term relief. However, it is just one step in managing this complex disease. A multidisciplinary approach, like addressing pain management, hormone therapies, nutrition, physical therapy, and mental health, is often essential for comprehensive care. Myth: bladder symptoms mean you just have a UTI. Fact: endometriosis can affect the bladder, causing pain, urgency, and frequency that mimic a UTI, but don't improve with antibiotics. Myth: bowel symptoms are just IBS. Fact: endometriosis on the bowel can cause severe pain, constipation, diarrhea, bloating, and often mistaken for IBS or other GI conditions. Myth: blood in your urine or stool isn't related to endometriosis. Fact: endometriosis can invade the bladder and bowel, causing blood to appear during menstruation or even outside of it. And lastly, myth: painful bowel movements are unrelated to your cycle. Fact: pain during bowel movements, especially around menstruation, is a common symptom of bowel endometriosis. Research shows that up to 10% of people assigned female at birth have endometriosis. That's 1 in 10, folks. Adenomyosis is slightly less common, but still significantly underdiagnosed. So if you felt dismissed, invalidated, or just plain confused, know this: you are not alone, and there's a whole community here ready to support you. If you want to learn more, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. I'll continue sitting down with the experts who help empower us. You never know when a guest might give you that aha moment, recharging your battery and motivating you to keep advocating for yourself and for others.